Good morning, everyone. This is section 1, group 5, Team Tama, and today we are going to propose our tabletop game. So to kickstart, our game is called Shiok-Niah, and these are the table of contents. So, introducing our group name, Tama, and these are our group members.
Hi, my name is Melvin, and I'm going to talk about our research and inspirations on the tabletop games. So first things first, our game is mainly based on Cherki, which is a traditional gambling card game originated from the Peranakan community, particularly the Baba Nyonya people of Malacca and Singapore. So this game have a unique deck of cards that feature as abstract designs and is somewhat similar to Mahjong in terms of set building and strategy. So, as the game objective, you may ask, the main objective of the Cherki is for players to complete specific sets of cards that achieve a winning combination before their opponents, so that the players must carefully manage their hands and drawing and discarding cards, forming a combinations to complete the required sets to achieve victory. So, all the card designs of Cherki that we're looking into is about the abstract symbols and categories, where the Cherki cards are highly symbolic, with abstract designs representing various categories, as these designs are often influenced by traditional Chinese iconography with motifs such as the mirats, the strings, and the flowers. With mirats is like coin-like symbols representing wealth or monetary value. And the string represents string of coins or bamboo, symbolizing the prosperity. And the flower, which is a special card with decorative floral elements that you can see with these reddish brown boxes in the cards design here. So another thing is its artistic style, where the artwork on Cherki cards tend to be more abstract than literal. As you can see from the image on the side here, where the Western playing cards are more literal in the graphic style, is more straightforward, rather than the abstract style of abstract graphics from the Cherki card. And also, the Cherki cards are often adorned with minimal color schemes, as you can see, the black and white only, and intricate line work, giving them and much more old school traditional feel that aligns with the cultural roots. So we also, based on this game, we also took inspirations from other tabletop games like such, Exploring Kittens and Uno. As you can see, the first thing is about Exploring Kittens. In short, it's a Russian roulette style dedicated deck card game, which is a fast-paced and strategic-based card game designed for 2 to 5 players. So you may be thinking, what's the game objective? Yes, it's trying not to explode, or in detail, it's to avoid drawing an exploding kitten card, which eliminates you from the game. So players must use strategy, the hands of cards, action cards, and occasionally a bit of luck here to avoid exploding or eliminating other players and achieve the final victory by surviving to the last. So how we are taking reference from this Exploding Kittens tabletop game is about the illustrations, which the cards are filled with whimsical, often absurd and humorous artwork, where each card features a cartoon-style illustration, as you can see from the pictures down here. And the art is intentionally silly, with illustrations like kittens with laser eyes, tickle cats here, or the rainbow puking unicorns. It's very funny. And the colors, where each cards have bright, bold colors, making each card typically easy to distinguish. And action cards like the skip, attack, shuffle, etc. often have different background colors to make them stand out. For instance, the exploding killer cards, or which the cards you don't want to take, are usually in the bright red and black tones like down in here to signify danger. And the diffuse card feature a softer calming colors like green to represent a safetiness. So the card layout. It's a clean and functional layout with the main illustration occupying the central portion of the card. An action text or card title like the diffuse or attack is typically positioned at the top and bottom of the card. And there's also some additional instructions appear underneath the main action text, but it's kept in short and concise. You can see the instructions down the action text. So the second popular tabletop card game we took reference on is the Uno. Which you can already know is quite a popular game, which is a fast-paced and color and number action cards game. So the game objective, as some of the people may not know, the goal is to be the first player to score 500 points. The players can score points by being the first to get rid of all their cards in each round, and the points are based on the value of the cards left in the opponent's hand. So the card design of Uno is simple yet high functional, ensuring that the players can easily recognize card types, numbers, and actions at glance. There are two things here, which is the color-coded system and iconography, where the Uno cards are primarily categorized by color with 4 distinctive colors for the number and action cards. As you can see, you may know that there's red, blue, green, and yellow. And these colors are bright, bold, and easy to distinguish, which simplifies gameplay since players must often match the color of the top cards in the discard pile. And each action card has a large bold symbol in the center that clearly indicates its function. And this simplicity of these icons ensure that players immediately understand what each action card does. So we're talking about those hands. After playing the several rounds of Exploding Kittens within our group members, we realized that we could take note of several power cards and combos too inside the game, such as the flavor card and nope and special combo cards. Which for the flavor cards, you can take one of the cards from the other opponents. The nope is basically denying the other player's actions, and special combos like we can swap our cards with the other players. From Uno, we realized that we could add some power cards such as the reverse skip and skip and run card in the Uno expansion. I think this is the thing.
Okay, so let's talk about field research of our team. So our team visit to Malacca to meet Mr. Peter. He's head of the Baba Association. So to get a better understand the traditional Cherki game and explore modern features from contemporary card games. So this meeting provided valuable insight into Cherki culture and historical significance. We asked Mr. Peter several questions to gaining a deeper understanding of its rule and history. So he also gave us a tour of the association and explaining various design and artifacts which enrich our appreciation of how these culture elements are reflected in Turkey and its role in the community. Okay, these are few interview question and the answer from Mr. Peter. So the first question is talking about the background and history of Shiok-Niah. So traditionally, Shiok-Niah was mainly played by Nyonya women at home to pass the time, often in casual gathering. So the second question is the change in rule and modern variation. So the rule of Cherki have largely remained the same, but very few people play it now. And the third question is about the reason for decline. So Cherki is fading because the gameplay is difficult to learn, and the card design are also hard to read. And there are few online resources as well. So the question 4 is about the tool on updating Cherki packaging. So improving Cherki's packaging would be a great idea as the current design is outdated and like manuals. And the question number 5 is the suggestion for the modern improvement. So the card design could be clearer with recognizable numbers and can aiding Baba Nyonya motifs on the card backs would maintain the culture authenticity. And the last question is the personal challenges with Cherki. So the harder parts is the recognizing the different card groups and also struggle with the traditional one-hand ways of holding and playing. So next is the observations during the game playing. So Mr. Peter told us the basics of Cherki and we play a few rounds. So here can observe that the card design was complex. Even some professional player also got them wrong sometimes. And a game can last up to an hour with traditional rules. and the small cards were hard to hold, so we often place them on the table. And this point made us think about modernizing Cherki to make it more accessible for new players while keeping its essence. And we consider simplifying some aspect and adding feature from modern card games. And next, these are some photos from our local research to document our process. Okay, that's all for me.
Hi, I'm Tian, and I'm going to discuss the research problem for our tabletop game. The first problem is that Cherki's original card patterns are too abstract and difficult to differentiate, making it hard for players to identify card values, causing frustration. Next, the game is challenging for beginners to pick up as it is a strategy game, and with no user manual in the original packaging, it's even tougher for those who want to learn the gameplay. Finally, Cherki faces a cultural and generational disconnect. It does not evolve over time and only played by a small community, mostly elder Peranakan and Eurasian people, making it nearly forgotten by people nowadays. Next is our research question. The first question is, how can we simplify Cherki gameplay and combine it with modern games like Exploding Kittens and Uno to create a faster and more engaging experience? What design feature can we add to attract younger players and make the game easier to learn? The last question is, what aspects should we retain to preserve its essence, and what can we change to give it a modern appeal? So here is the brief description of our reinvented game. Shiok-Niah is our modern twist on Cherki. Players collect 3 sets of 3 cards with same value in order to win. Inspired by Exploring Kitten and Uno, we added dual function cards that can be played normally or used for special ability. Shiok-Niah retained the cultural essence of Cherki while introducing dynamic elements. The card design blends humorous character with traditional style, keeping it fun while honoring Peranakan cultural roots. I'll pass to Winnie to explain about the basic instruction and rules.
Basic instructions and rules of our game. So the card deck will contain 120 cards in total, divided into 3 categories: power cards, character cards, and 3 types of normal cards, each represented by different types of kuih. So introducing the normal cards first. So we'll have 108 normal cards, and the cards will be represented by 3 traditional kuih, adding a cultural touch. So the first type of card is the Nyonya Big Plate, replacing the traditional coin from Cherki, and this symbolizes wealth and prosperity. So Kuih Dada is the second type of normal card, and you'll be replacing strings, which represents a classic roll dessert, maintaining the game's visual appeal with its bright green color. So the dollar bills, you'll be replacing the my rate, and this introduces a modern twist, reflecting the monetary value. So each quick category contains 36 cards, making up a total of 108 cards, and the cards are all numbered from 1 to 9, and this allows for strategic step building within each quick category. So this numbering also ensures familiar gameplay while introducing a fresh design tied to cultural elements. The next type of card is our character special cards, which we have 12. So in Shiok-Niah, the character special cards replace the traditional flower cards found in Cherki. So these cards introduce a humorous and relatable aspect by featuring common personalities from a Baba Nyonya gathering. So there will be 4 cards per character, and the first type of card is the gossip auntie, also known for being the center of all conversations, sharing all the latest tea. Second card is your rich overseas uncle, so it's the family member who has made it big abroad and loves to flaunt his success. And the third one is the always hungry for snack kid, which is a playful character constantly on the lookout for more snacks during the gathering. Next is the power cards. So in Shiok-Niah, there were 7 types of power cards, and will be totaling up to a total of 48 power cards. So we have the reverse card, skip everyone card, exchange card, take the next card from the deck, skip next person card, sabotage card, and the favor card. So these power cards will be blended into the normal deck as a dual power card, meaning each card can be played either as a normal card or as a power card, and this will give players more strategic options during the game. So the rules of the power card is that in order to utilize it, the player must first draw a card from the deck before playing the power card. So this rule applies to all power cards except the take card. So for reverse, you draw a card from the deck, then use the reverse card to reverse the flow of the game. So the order of the play will change direction. Skip everyone card. So you need to draw a card from the deck, then use the skip everyone card to take your turn again, skipping all other players. So for the exchange card, you can use the card to swap one card with another player of your choice. The take card allows you to immediately play and take the next power card, and this allows you to retrieve the last discarded card. So the skip next card allows you to skip next card and skip the next player's turn. So the sabotage card is that you can replace one of your cards with a card from the deck or another player. So this is normally used on players who caught Shiok-Niah to disrupt their sets. So the favor card is to swap your entire hand with another player of your choice. So for the setup of Shiok-Niah, it includes the following key components. Each player will start with 8 cards, and there are 3 types of cards as mentioned just now. Normal cards, character cards, and power cards. So player takes turns in sequential clockwise order unless power cards are being used. So during their turns, players can either draw a card from the draw pile or take the previously discarded card, or discard a card to maintain a hand size, potentially offering useful cards to other players. So this is the starting deck. So as you can see, everyone will receive 8 cards. So during the turn phase, the first player can either draw a card from the center deck of card and keep the draw card in his or her own deck, or immediately discard the draw card from the deck of cards to the middle. So this is scene A. And this is scene B. So during the turn phase, the subsequent player can either take the card discarded out by the first player, keep it in his or her deck, and discard out a card from his or her own deck as seen here in scene A. So in scene B, you can draw a new card from the middle of the deck of cards. The player can choose to keep the new drawn card and discard a card from his or her deck. So they can also draw a new card from the middle of the deck of cards, and player choose to discard the new drawn card to the middle. So what is the Shiok-Niah call? So players can call Shiok-Niah once they have successfully formed 2 sets of 3 cards of the same number, signaling they are close to winning. So when calling Shiok-Niah, the player must flip open and display the types of card they made up 2 sets. This means they publicly reveal the categories of cards they've completed. For example, the Angko Kuih or the Kuih Dada. A total of 2 different types of cards must be shown to all other players, creating an open strategy point where opponents can see part of the player's hands. So once Shiok-Niah is called, the player is not allowed to alter or change the displayed 2 sets of 3 cards. The only exception to this rule is if the player is sabotaged by another player using a power card, which forces them to modify or adjust their hand. So this will add a dynamic layer of strategy and interaction during gameplay. For rules and regulations, during each turn, a player can perform 2 actions: draw a card from the draw pile or the previously discarded card, or discard a card to maintain their hand size and potentially provide useful cards to the next player. So players are not allowed to take discarded cards from other players which is not in front of them in sequence unless they are winning. So the main goal is to manage your hand by selectively drawing and discarding cards to form specific sets. So players need to form 3 sets of 3 cards of the same number, and the suit can be mixed. Players must continuously adjust their hand by drawing the best cards and discarding those that don't fit their strategy. So they need to call Shiok-Niah once they are nearing set completion, which is having 2 sets of 3 cards. Then they can call Shiok-Niah and review the types of card that forms the set. So the winning conditions is that a player wins the game once they successfully form 3 sets of 3 cards. So once the winning player reviews their sets, the game ends and they are declared the winner. The winning player can take the last card from any player, describe the sequence and order.
Let's look at the game sketches now. We have prototyped our game cards for gameplay testing. The playtests allow us to discuss and refine the rules and structure, while also evaluating how the design layout work. First, the normal cards. The coin and string cards use single or multiple circles and straight lines to represent numbers. The Mari card features the Chinese character 60,000 to represent its number. The character special cards reflect common personalities typical seen at the Baba Nyonya gathering. For power cards, each power is represented by a symbol placed in the top right and bottom left corner of the card. The center features a number pattern, making it a dual power card that blends both visual and functional elements. During the playtest, we identified some issues. When holding 8 cards, the symbol in the top right and bottom left corner were difficult to see as they were covered. Similarly, arranging and identifying the card numbers with patterns become challenging on larger cards. To solve this, we refined the design based on common hand gesture when playing cards and how players usually view card numbers. So numerics and symbol are now placed in the top left and bottom right corners for better visibility. The center features simple yet appealing illustration, showcasing Baba Nyonya culture. This way, the card will be both functional and visually engaging, enhancing the overall playing experience. Next, the card design elements. Normal cards come in 3 types: coin, string, and myriad. Coin is illustrated as a traditional Baba Nyonya ceramic plate with peony flowers and phoenix patterns. String illustrates the iconic kuih with both appearance and coconut filling. Myriad features dollar bill illustration with RM to represent the Malaysian ringgit, ensuring clarity. Character special cards feature playful, cute illustration of characters like the gossip auntie, your rich overseas uncle, and the always hungry for snack kid, adding a fun vibe to the card. Power cards have 7 unique symbols, each representing different powers. These symbols will be integrated as dual power cards in deck. We have standardized the card size to make sure it's easy to handle and shuffle. The base color of the cards align with the illustrated objects, with a light border and darker numerics and symbol, aiming to create a visually balanced and cohesive design. We choose rubric as the font for numerics on our card because it is modern and clean design, which ensure readability and the overall aesthetic. Finally, here's the layout for the normal card, character special card, dual power card, and these are the symbols for the powers. That's all for our presentation. Thank you for listening.